Once upon a time, in a small, quiet village, there lived an old woman named Agnes. Now, Agnes wasn't your ordinary grandmother, sitting around knitting and reminiscing about the past. No, she was a vibrant soul, full of stories and laughter that echoed through the cobblestone streets. Agnes was the kind of woman who didn't care much for material possessions. Her home was simple, adorned with trinkets that held memories rather than value. A faded photograph of her late husband, a tiny wooden box filled with handwritten letters, and a patchwork quilt that told the tale of countless cozy nights spent reading by the fire. Every morning, Agnes would wake up at dawn, the sunlight streaming through her window, casting a golden glow on her walls. She'd brew a pot of herbal tea, the scent wafting through her tiny kitchen, and sit by the window, watching the world wake up. She often smiled at the children playing in the streets, their laughter a sweet melody that filled her heart with joy. But Agnes had a secret. You see, although she lived a simple life, her memories were rich and vibrant. Each wrinkle on her face told a story, each gray hair a chapter of her life. She remembered the day she met her husband, Thomas, at the village fair. He had won her a stuffed bear, and they spent the whole evening talking and laughing under the stars. As the years passed, Agnes and Thomas built a life filled with love. They traveled to distant lands, danced in the rain, and created a garden bursting with flowers that mirrored their happiness. But what she cherished most were the quiet moments, sitting together on their porch, sipping tea, and sharing dreams. Agnes often shared these stories with the children in her village, gathering them around her on sunny afternoons. "Let me tell you about the time we got lost in Paris," she would say, her eyes twinkling with mischief. The kids would lean in, captivated by her tales of adventure, of street performers and pastries, of laughter that echoed through the narrow alleys. She would tell them about the time they hiked up a mountain, only to be greeted by a breathtaking sunrise. It was like the world was set on fire, she'd say, her voice filled with wonder. The children would gasp, their imaginations igniting with every word. But it wasn't just the adventures that held meaning for Agnes. It was the connections she made along the way. She cherished the friendships that spanned decades, the neighbors who became family, and the love that surrounded her like a warm blanket. As she aged, Agnes became a beacon of light in her village. People would come to her for advice, for a listening ear, or just to share a cup of tea. She had a gift for making others feel valued, reminding them that life wasn't about what you owned, but the memories you created. One chilly autumn afternoon, Agnes sat in her garden, the leaves swirling around her like confetti. She felt a sense of peace wash over her. "I've lived a full life," she thought, filled with love, laughter, and unforgettable moments. Years passed, and the seasons changed, but Agnes remained a constant presence. She continued to tell her stories, her laughter ringing out like a bell on a quiet morning. But one day, she noticed her steps were slowing, and the world seemed a little less vibrant. With each passing day, she knew her time was drawing near. But instead of fear, she felt gratitude. Her heart was full of memories, each one a vibrant thread woven into the tapestry of her life. On her final day, as the sun set in a blaze of orange and pink, Agnes closed her eyes, a smile on her lips. She wasn't leaving behind material wealth or grand possessions. No, she was leaving behind a legacy of love, a reminder that life's greatest treasures are the moments we share and the memories we create. And in that stillness, surrounded by the whispers of the past, Agnes took a deep breath and embraced the next adventure, knowing she had lived life fully, and oh, how she'd loved.